You know, I've been watching the impeachment hearings. They went on for like 12 hours today. I've been watching in the morning at my house. I think it's having an effect on my children. Last night I asked my daughter if she wanted a bedtime story, and she just yelled, "Read the transcript." The Democrats are slowly and methodically building their case against the president, brick by brick. Today, Mexico even offered to pay for the bricks. But we got a full day of live televised testimony from 4 government officials today, 3 of whom were listening in on Trump's perfect call with the Ukrainian president. We learned a lot. I tell you, if these impeachment proceedings have taught me anything, it's that there is no sentence more depressing than the chair now recognizes Devin Nunes for 45 minutes. This Devin Nunes he has a look on his face like a kid whose mom just dragged him across the schoolyard in front of all his friends. Nunes used his time today not to get facts, because those don't look too good for Team Trump. He used his time instead to lash out at the media. He called them puppets of the Democratic Party, which is someone who has the president's knuckles so far up his butt they're poking his tonsils. Is that person allowed to call other people puppets? Because we may have to ask Elmo to weigh in on that. But Devin Nunes knew the president was watching, and while the president was watching them, we were watching him.
I was concerned by the call. What I heard was inappropriate, and I reported my concerns to Mr. Eisenberg. It is improper for the President of the United States to demand a foreign government investigate a U.S. citizen.
Beat up the TV.
I was
yeah, kick its ass.
Ukraine pursued an investigation.
You know what? I tell you, in fairness, we did the same thing when Arnold hosted The Apprentice. In the afternoon session, we heard from Trump's former special envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, and from Tim Morrison of the National Security Council. Volker today modified his earlier testimony to bring it into alignment with the testimony of other witnesses. In other words, he touched things up a little in the Truth Department, which is kind of weird that you can do that, right? Regarding my earlier testimony that I didn't eat Chinese food in the office fridge, I'd like to amend that statement to say it was delicious. But Kurt Volker was not the witness the Republicans had hoped he'd be. He even said he told Rudy Giuliani the allegations that Joe Biden did anything wrong were not credible. And Tim Morrison said Gordon Sondland, who's the big star witness tomorrow, told the Ukrainians there'd be no military aid without a Biden-related investigation. And these were the witnesses for their side. And you know how the White House broke protocol and stored the records of Trump's perfect call on a top-secret server? Well, wait till you hear the explanation for that.
Did you subsequently learn that the call record had been put in a highly classified system?
I did.
And what reason did Mr. Eisenberg give you for why the call record was put in the highly classified system?
It was a mistake.
You said it was just a mistake?
It was an administrative error.
Right, yeah. The record of the call where the president committed a crime, we accidentally hid that one away. It was a mistake. Someone dropped it in a box. It wound up in the attic. The ladder's broken. Nothing we can do to get it. So those were the witnesses the Republicans wanted to call in. The morning session was with Jennifer Williams, who's an aide to Vice President Pence, and the Ukraine man on the National Security Council, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman. And in case you missed their testimony, Representative Sean Patrick Maloney of New York summed it up pretty well.
Ms. Williams, you heard the call with your own ears, right?
Yes, sir.
Not secondhand, not hearsay. You heard the president speak. You heard his voice on the call.
Correct.
And your conclusion was what he said about investigating the Bidens was, your words, unusual and inappropriate, I believe. Am I right?
That was my testimony.
And then later, you too were on the White House call. Am I right? You heard it with your own ears.
Correct.
Not secondhand, not from somebody else, not hearsay, right?
Correct.
You heard the president's voice on the call.
I did.
And you heard him raise that subject again that Ambassador Sondland had raised before about investigating the Bidens, right?
I did.
All right, so that's that, right? That's it. They both heard the president ask for the investigation. The case closed, but there's an old saying among trial lawyers, and that's if the facts are on your side, pound the facts. If the law's on your side, pound the law. And if neither's on your side, pound the table. Well, Republicans today pounded that table like Stormy Daniels pounded Donnie T with that Forbes magazine. They really, the way they treated This Lieutenant Colonel Vindman was embarrassing even for them. They tried to smear the recipient of a Purple Heart to protect a president who doesn't even have a red one. Jim Jordan of Ohio. This guy, he implied that Vindman was a leaker with questionable judgment. You know, questionable judgment, like, say if you were a wrestling coach and the team doctor was abusing your wrestlers and you knew about it, but you didn't say anything. That's questionable judgment, right, Jim Jordan? But even the president's third favorite son piled on. DJ TJ tweeted, anyone listening to Vindman stammer through this, seemingly trying to remember catchphrases. He was well coached and should get that. He's a low-level partisan bureaucrat and nothing more. That's right. The slick-back sperm sample who never served anybody is questioning the integrity of a lieutenant colonel with a Purple Heart. Daddy Bone Spurs must be very proud of him. But this is the strategy. Their goal, the Republicans, is to smear them, to confuse us, to bore us, to question the loyalty and patriotism of lifelong civil servants and even members of our military who've served heroically. They're intentionally damaging these Americans to protect the lowlife they know is a lowlife, but they also know defending him makes them popular amongst a certain group, so they do it anyway. The Lieutenant Colonel, this guy has a Purple Heart. They tried to pick him apart. The woman whose reputation they tried to stain works for Mike Pence right now. They're actually trying to make us believe that a woman who voluntarily works for Mike Pence is on the other side. And we're so used to these movies and TV shows where the criminal breaks down on the stand and confesses. It's like we're waiting for that to happen before we make a decision. But in real life, which, believe it or not, this is, that's not how it goes. No one shouts you can't handle the truth. It's not an episode of The Good Wife. We get little bits of information, and those little bits of information, to me, very plainly add up to this. Our president made it clear to Ukraine, you're not getting the money you need to keep your people alive unless you help me win the election, and that's it. And the idea that he was fighting corruption, Donald Trump, not only doesn't Donald Trump care about corruption in Ukraine, he wanted it. He tried to buy it. Honestly, at this point, the only defense that might work for them is Donald Trump is too stupid to know he committed a crime. He's just dumb. But the other big story, a smaller mystery in D.C. this week, was Trump's unannounced trip to Walter Reed Hospital, which, according to the president, was yet another example of fake news.
I went for a physical, and I came back. My wife said, darling, are you okay? What's wrong? Oh, they're reporting you may have had a heart attack. I said, why did I have a heart attack? Because you went to Walter Reed Medical Center. That's where we go when we get the physicals. I was out of there very quickly. I got back home, and I get greeted with the news that we understand you had a heart attack. I was called by our people in public relations. Sir, are you okay? I said, okay from what? The word is you had a heart attack. CNN said you may have had a heart attack. You had massive chest pains. You went to the hospital. These people are sick.
Well, maybe they should go to the hospital, I guess. But does anyone believe Melania said, darling, are you okay? It seems out of character. I don't know. Trump said he was there for phase 1 of his annual physical. They have to do his physicals in sections, like when you mow the lawn on a football field. It's too large to cover in one day. But the president declared himself to be in excellent health. He wrote, African-American unemployment and my cholesterol are at an all-time low. We made that up, but could you even tell the difference? I mean, the president's cholesterol is down, but his staff's blood pressure is way up. This is how his press wrangler ushered reporters out of the meeting today.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
I mean, that's where you need Sarah Huckleberry Sanders in there to bust some heads. And as if the president didn't have enough on his tiny hands, today was release day for the new tell-all book written by an anonymous senior White House official. It's called A Warning, which, no offense to Anonymous, but it's a little bit late for that. There's some good McNuggets in the book, though. According to A Warning, early on, Trump would carry copies of electoral maps and just pull them out randomly during meetings with his staff to brag about them. They say he frequently discussed dropping Mike Pence from the ticket in 2020. They say Trump brings ideas from Lou Dobbs into the Oval Office and demands they do them the way Lou wants them done. He tells people if they break the law on his behalf, he'll pardon them. And then his spokespeople will claim he was joking. According to the writer, he said that, or she said, that's how you know Donald Trump is not joking, when he sends someone out to say he was joking. The author he also described the president as a 12-year-old in an air traffic control tower pushing the buttons of government indiscriminately, which is good. Is anyone surprised by this? I mean, we've known he's a lunatic for at least 3 years. The only way this book would be shocking is if it said the president enjoys salad and spending time with his kids. But it must be driving him nuts not knowing who wrote it, because that person may be working in his office. Anderson Cooper, by the way, managed to get an interview with the author. It's set to air Sunday on 60 Minutes.
Why does the record need to be set straight?
Because this president is a disgrace. He willfully breaks the law. He fornicates outside of marriage. He willfully... Son of a nutcracker.
Well, Mother's not going to like that language at all. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. An evil wizard has trapped me inside this YouTube video. Click subscribe to help me escape.